What is up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we have our final Speedroid card revealed for Duelist Pack 25. The set officially comes out in the OCG in 3 days, which means probably tomorrow we'll get the final Fleur card. Yesterday we got the final Lyraless card. That card was amazing. Literally, I don't know if they could have made, I mean, obviously you can always say, throw a little bonus effect on there. But as far as exactly what people were asking for, that's what they got. So let's take a look at this card. Let's see what we do, because this is only our second spell in the entire, or second card, honestly, spell and trap in the entire game that does have Speedroid in the name, and it is now searchable. So here we have Speedroid Roulette. It's a quick play spell, which is really cool. I like that a lot of the extenders in the Speedroid deck are quick plays. Well, I say a lot. It's mainly just this and Speed Lift, but still, it's a really cool. I don't know. It's just a really cool thing that they're quick, because they're Speedroids, right? It makes sense. So I like that a lot. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, by the way. This card reads: discard one card. Roll a 6-sided die and special summon up to 2 Speedroid monsters from your hand and or deck whose total levels exactly equal the result, but their effects are negated. If you cannot, you lose life points equal to the result times 500. Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to have gripes with this card. Obviously, let's start off with the 2 glaring weaknesses of this card. First and foremost, you have to discard a card. Not the end of the world. Speedroids have multiple cards that give you value in grave, and depending on combo decks, you could easily draw bricks and just discard bricks. So I'm not too concerned about the discard. It's also a generic discard, which is really nice. We've seen effects come through that just say discarded an archetype card, and that definitely hurts, because your in archetype cards are what allows you to play. We don't want to be discarding those. So yeah, the discard is fine. I'm not that worried about that. But the other gripe people are going to have is for sure the fact that you have to roll a 6-sided die, and you have to special summon levels that exactly equal the result. Up to 2 monsters, which means it doesn't have to be 2, which means there really is no... There's not a realistic scenario where this doesn't resolve, at least the first time you're activating it. The only thing I can think of is... let's see. I have my 0 cards right in front of me. I think the only realistic way that this doesn't resolve is if you only play 1 red-eyed dice. But even then, it summons from hand or deck. So even having just red-eyed dice, this is not bad. So here's the thing. Even if you roll a 1, you just summon red-eyed dice from hand or deck. Even from hand, it's an extension from hand, and that's not bad. That's a body that can allow you to play through Interruption, potentially. If you roll a 2, you've got Marble Machine, as well as, I believe, the new guy that looks like a stapler. The stapler dog, Magic Hound. He's level 2 as well, and he has an effect in Grave, which is really good, which is actually a pretty decent effect in Grave, if I remember correctly. I think it's like a follow-up effect, but still, free body on board. If you roll a 3, you can summon anything from Terror Top, Takatomborg, Cart Turbo, right? So you got some tuners in there, some non-tuners. And I know Terror Top won't be able to trigger because its effects are negated, but there are definitely combos where if you can just make the Link 2, the Link 2 will get you to add something, or you could easily have a Speed Recovery or a Monster Reborn. We play multiple copies of those cards. That will trigger Terror Top after. If it's a 2, you can do a 3 and a dice. If it's a 3, you can also do Magic Hound plus a Marble Machine. Marble Machine can't trigger, which stinks, but still, you're getting bodies out. If it's a 5, you go a 3-2, or even a 4-1. The new tuner monster for the deck is level 4. And if you roll, what do we say? If it's a 5, we do have the what's his face? What's his name? Rubber Band Plane. Decent extender. It's just 1 body, but you're probably better off summoning 2 at that point. If you can summon 2, you probably summon 2. I actually think this is a pretty decent extender. Long story short. Is it a 3 of? Probably not. I do still think there is enough ways for this card to just suck. Unfortunately, it discards. So like, as Ash Bait, this is pretty good Ash Bait, just because it is a 2-for-1 for your opponent's Ash. It doesn't take your normal summon, which is worse for your opponent, but yeah. But it is a Speedroid card at the end of the day. And that's one thing people were asking for, is a Speedroid extender. Is this the best extender in the game? Definitely not. But because we get a search off of the new Synchro monster for free, essentially, for any Speedroid spell or trap, this is really the only Speedroid spell we can search. And honestly, it could be worse. This isn't the worst extender in the world. You can also search the trap for, you know, disruption purposes, but this is not bad. I actually think this is a decent card. I think a lot of people will write it off because of the discard and the random dice roll, but there's so many ways you can go about it, and it's really just going to come down to, if we look at certain combos and we see that, like, oh god, it literally doesn't matter what you roll, because 1, red-eyed dice, 2, a level 2, or I guess you can't do double red-eyed dice. You just summon a level 2. If it's 3, you could do a red-eyed dice, a level 2, or you could just do a level 3, depending on the situation, the rest of your hand and all that. And obviously the higher rolls don't matter, right? If it's a 6, you could do the new level 4 and a level 2, 2 level 3s, red-eyed dice in the level 5. There's so many combinations if you roll a higher roll that are not a problem. The only thing I would question is if your combo already uses red-eyed dice at another spot, is it now worth playing 2 red-eyed dice? A little more bricky, but this card discards anyway. And it would help a little bit. I mean, we do get an additional normal summon from our Link monster as well. So is the double red-eyed dice like not that bad? And if you play more than 1 red-eyed dice, maybe it makes worth playing this card a little bit. Makes playing multiple of this a little bit better, because you're a little less fearful of pulling them all out of the deck in hand. They all end up in grave, and now you're just stuck with this card. If you roll a 1, you can't resolve it. And that's only specifically if you roll level 1. I mean, even if you don't have red-eyed dice left in the deck, you still can roll literally any other number. So you still have like an 3.3, 83. I believe it's still an 83.3% chance of resolving this card. And if it doesn't resolve, you just take 500 life points, because it's equal to the result, and any other result it will resolve, so it doesn't hurt there. I don't know. I think this is a playable card. I think a lot of people will bash it, but I do think this card is it just sounds bad because it's a dice roll effect, and I think it actually will be better than people think. I think it just depends on, like I said, whether or not combos can work no matter what you hit. If you just need a body, raw body, doesn't matter the level, doesn't matter what it is, and you just need a body, I think this card will still pass as a searchable extender for the deck. But we'll see. So yeah, I think this is decent. We kind of knew there was going to be a Speedroid spell rounding out these cards, because we do have the new spell and trap searcher, and we only had a trap so far. But I think the Speedroid support is awesome. I think the new level 4 tuner is great. I think Magic Hound is actually a 1 card like little setup. All 3 of our new like synchros are cool. We've got the level 3 guy that gets you searches, which is really cool, and extension, or revive, both the monsters used for it. You've got the new bike monster, which is actually low-key kind of cool. Again, another dice roll effect, but even if you roll a 1 on that, you pop a card, and then he can tag out into 2 more disruptions, so he's actually fairly legit. And then the new crystal clear wing. I don't think that card's as terrible either, because he makes himself immune, and he's like a spell and trap negate. So ending on him plus like a crystal wing is a spell and trap negate plus a monster negate. And the crystal clear wing is essentially unaffected by monster effects. So he negates a spell or trap that might remove him, and then he can't be affected by monster effects. So he can be really, really hard to out. And I think he's like 3,500 or something. So I actually think he's not bad. And then this spell, and then the new trap. I think the trap's actually pretty good. It's a bounce, it's compulse, it's searchable, plus it can get you an extension from grave. So I like that card a lot. I'll definitely be playing a build with that, I guarantee you. But sorry about this video being a little bit longer for just 1 card, but I did want to go in depth on this because I do think a lot of people are going to write this off, and I don't think they should, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think on this card? Do you think this card is too die roll dependent? Don't like the discard, whatever. I like that it's quick play. I like that because of how the levels work out for this deck, it can pretty much resolve no matter what, as long as you have a red-eyed dice in hand or a deck. And you have ways to record. I mean, puzzle. Look at, like, if you just go through puzzle on your turn, you're just going to add a red-eyed dice from grave back to hand, which means future turns this card can still resolve just to at least get red-eyed dice out of the hand. Can't complain. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this card. How good do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's unplayable? Do you think it's a one-of that, like, just because it is searchable, it's worth playing? Because I think this is just, like, more generically useful than, like, Speed Lift. Right, Speed Lift is so specific in when it has to activate that, like, it takes away a lot of its potential utility. So let me know down below. Probably gonna get the last Fleur card tomorrow. It's probably what did we say? I think it's supposed to be another spell. So we'll see on that. Triple spells for these, and so far I think the first two are pretty good. So yeah, very excited. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.